Wow. What a game. What a night on Sunday Night Football. We're here to break it all down for you. This is your opportunity to vent and let your feelings out as the Niners go down in a heartbreaker, 30-28 against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. We were riding the seesaw in this matchup. It looked as though Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be the hero, and then Aaron Rodgers snapped the hearts out of all of our souls, leading that last-second drive right down the field as Mason Crosby connects on a 51-yard game-winning field goal at the buzzer to win it for the Packers by a final score of 30-28. Before we break all of this game down and get into the nitty-gritty, let me know your one-word reaction to tonight's game, and let me know those one-word reactions in the comment section down below. It's easy to say crushing. It's easy to say heartbreak. It's easy to say choke. Once again, this is therapy for all of you. Let me know in the comment section. So, 49ers fall to 2-1 on the season with a 30-28 loss to Green Bay. It was really an awesome matchup on Sunday Night Football in front of a national audience. Jimmy Garoppolo was flat out bad to start this game. He finished strong, led a touchdown drive late to give the Niners a 28-27 lead. You're thinking, wow, Jimmy G overcomes that late fumble late in this game. He's going to be the hero. And all this guy does is win games. But then Aaron Rodgers, with under a minute to go, links up with Davante Adams on a couple of big plays. And Mason Crosby, after knocking through a 54-yard field goal earlier in the game, is good from 51 yards as the final buzzer sounds and the packed house at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara going home very depressed and sad like yours truly. Let me get to my biggest takeaways of the game. I know that Niner fans out there are going to say this secondary is bad, and it was tonight. It's certainly thin with a lot of the injuries that have happened there. They're going to say, how do you leave Davante Adams wide open on that big play to set up the game-winning field goal? At the end of the day, you got beat by a great one. This is what the great quarterbacks do. The Aaron Rodgers of the world, the Tom Brady's, the Patrick Mahomes. Shoot, you know how it works with Joe Cool Montana, who late in games was so cool, calm, and collected under pressure, and it never seemed as though he was out of a game or he was ever flustered. Aaron Rodgers is of that ilk, and he was so calm. He had that demeanor where he stepped onto the field down by a couple of points, and he realized, you know what? I'm going to lead these guys right down the field, and we're going to win this football game, and we're going to shut all these 49er fans up. And over time, I have learned to respect and admire greatness, and that's what Aaron Rodgers was tonight. 23-33 on the night, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 111. He was almost unconscious in that first half. And to end the game, could DeMeco Ryans have done different things schematically on the defensive side of the football to limit that big play to Davante Adams to set up that game-winning field goal? Maybe. But Aaron Rodgers was sensing pressure. He was operating within the pocket, not just on that drive, but all throughout the night. He got hit a couple of times as Nick Bosa was able to generate pressure. But at the end of the day, this is just a great player doing great things in a very clutch situation. And I want to go back to that Niners secondary, which gave up a bunch of big plays tonight. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Allen Lazard, Davante Adams goes off for a massive night, 12 receptions, 132 yards, a touchdown, average yards per catch at 11. He had that big pickup to set up the Mason Crosby field goal. This secondary, we've been talking about it for a long time, is very, very thin. And this is something that we knew going into the opener against the Detroit Lions. I had said here on the channel countless times, I like the makeup of the secondary. They are thin, though, and they are an injury away to Jason Verrett from really being in a precarious situation. And tonight, when you're lining up Josh Norman against Davante Adams, that ain't it. Then he goes out with a chest injury. I'm seeing Dante Johnson on Davante Adams, who's arguably the best wide receiver across the National Football League. Then you have Deommodore Lenoir, the rookie out of Oregon, lined up against one of the best playmakers at the wideout spot across the league. That's not a position that you want to be in, and it's not like Drake Kirkpatrick is going to change things all that much. It's not like a signing of Richard Sherman is going to make this secondary all that much better. What you have to count on is this 49ers defensive front to get consistent pressure on the quarterback, because if they do that, they don't allow opposing quarterbacks to have a lot of time to drop back in the pocket to pick apart that secondary because they're having to get rid of the ball or they're getting sacked. But really, after that first quarter, Niners defensive line wasn't able to maintain or establish a consistent pass rush against Aaron Rodgers. And for Matt LaFleur and Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers offense, they knew that. That's why Rodgers was pulling the trigger very quickly from a play design standpoint to get the ball out of his hands very quickly so that he wouldn't be altered, impacted, put off his spot by that Niners defensive line. So, look, Niners defense wasn't really good. We can talk about Kyle Shanahan having Jimmy Garoppolo snap that ball 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line with 43 seconds left and 12 seconds on the play clock. He snaps that ball, and maybe if he lets the play clock bleed there, the Packers don't have a chance to win that game-winning field goal. But we're trying to unpack it, and we're trying to work through it here on our post-game show on the 49ers Report because there's so much to get to. But let me ask you this. Grade the 49ers' defensive performance tonight against Aaron Rodgers and this Packers offense. A, B, C, D, or F. Really, for me, it was C. They were pretty average. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment and say they failed. It was just a great player doing some great things tonight. Tonight's show is powered to you by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. There is no better deal out there than the deal from BetUS. If you go to chatsports.com/49bet and enter the promo code Niners125, you get a 125% deposit bonus, meaning when you put $100 into your account after signing up with that link in that promo code, you get an additional $125 back. That's $225 to game with. And if you follow all of those steps, we will send you a free San Francisco 49ers jersey that you can have up in your closet. Here are all the steps on your screen. Chatsports.com/49bet. Enter the promo code Niners125. You sign up, you deposit, you get that 125% deposit back. Email us, jersey@chatsports.com, letting us know that you followed all of those steps, and we will send you a free 49ers jersey. This is a deal that we've decided to extend. Fanatics is like, hey, we got all these jerseys for 49er fans. Extend that deal. We'll get them hooked up. So follow all of those steps, and we'll get you hooked up as well. Let's get to Jimmy Garoppolo, because for the second consecutive game, he started very slow. He was dreadful in the first quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Niners weren't able to pick up a first down for the first time in a first quarter since 2016. And they didn't even have like 30 yards of total offense in the first quarter in this game. And Jimmy G was missing throws. When he was off platform, his accuracy really does regress a lot. But what Jimmy Garoppolo does is he just wins a lot of games. And he seems so in the moment and kind of just under control during that late drive to put the 49ers up by 1 at 28-27. And I give him credit for marching the 49ers down the field in a position like that in a crucial pressure-packed situation, especially after considering he had choked away the game, it seemed, after he had fumbled the football on that weird play where he threw the ball backwards, which was then a fumble, paving way for a Packers field goal. But then he rebounds from that, and he leads the 49ers down the field on that drive. 8 plays, 75 yards, 202 against a pretty solid defense, against an Aaron Rodgers-led team. Jimmy Garoppolo, you can say he started the game poorly and was bad at the beginning, and that can be true. You can also say that throughout Jimmy Garoppolo's career, he's consistently won games, and he's been pretty good in crunch time. Two things can be true at the same time. So were you impressed with Jimmy Garoppolo's performance? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know what you're feeling on this subject matter in the comment section down below. Going back to kind of what I hinted at, this is a Jimmy G problem. This is a Kyle Shanahan problem. The Niners have to start games better. You're looking at an upcoming schedule where you're going up against a Seattle Seahawks team that has lost 2 games in a row, the latter was an ugly loss against the Vikings, the first of which they blew a big lead against the Tennessee Titans. Then after that, you're going up against the Arizona Cardinals. They're 3-0. Kyler Murray's balling out. Los Angeles Rams just beat the defending Super Bowl champions and didn't have a really much of a problem with Tom Brady and the Bucs today. Both of those teams, the Cardinals and the Rams, are 3-0. If you don't start games faster, you're going to shoot yourselves in the foot, and you're not going to have an opportunity to win a lot of these games in a jam-packed division. But also, you don't want to start games slow because you can't rely on your offense to mount a comeback after being down 17-0 in a game like tonight. So Kyle Shanahan, I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive early in games because I think at times he's conservative. I'd like to see Jimmy Garoppolo be a little bit more accurate and not seem as flustered by early pass rushes when his accuracy just wanes after he is put off of his spot. You have to start games faster because you can't expect to come back from 17 points against good teams, and that is not a winning formula against good teams, especially when you're in a division when every week truly counts, because I think the NFC West could put out 3 playoff teams this year. So you got to start faster. That's a Kyle Shanahan problem and a Jimmy Garoppolo problem. I'm reacting in the moment just after the final buzzer. I got to go back and watch some of the play calls, some of the situational decisions made by Shanahan and Jimmy G. But right now, it just feels like the Niners aren't starting games fast because they didn't do so against Green Bay. They certainly didn't do so against Philadelphia, and they were lucky to win against Philadelphia because of that, and they nearly won this game tonight, going up late 28-27, but you won't have to mount a comeback like that if you just start games a little bit better, more cohesive. So looking ahead next week, this is a challenge, going up against a Seahawks team that has lost 2 games in a row. Let me know who you got, because this is also a massive game for San Francisco. You start off the season 2-0. You have an opportunity to go 3-0 against a very good Green Bay Packers team. Then you might be in danger of evening up the record at 2-2 with Arizona right around the corner as well, then a bye week in week 6. Let me know who you got. Type SEA for the Seahawks, type SF for the 49ers, and again, let those feelings out in the comments section.